the sunny shores of Honolulu, the Rainbow Wahines come to Lincoln to meet the Huskers for only the 5th time. Tonight, 2 of the best setters face off. Sherry Boyer comes into tonight's match ranked 2nd in the nation in set assists, while Nebraska's Val Novak holds the top spot. The Huskers serve up Nebraska hospitality in hopes of receiving some back at the Final Four. From the UNL Coliseum in Lincoln, Nebraska, your Nebraska ETV network presents Husker Volleyball. Tonight, the Huskers take on Hawaii. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bill Dolman. Tonight, it's number 4 Nebraska hosting number 1 Hawaii. When these two teams met last night, they were the last unbeaten teams in the nation in 1989, and now there's one. That is the University of Hawaii. They showed why they're number 1 with an impressive 3-set victory over Nebraska. It's the 5th meeting between the two schools. Nebraska's only victory in the series came back in 1985, right here at the UNL Coliseum, and ironically, it was a 3-set victory. Let me bring in my partner tonight, former Cornhusker volleyball standout Angie Milliken. And Angie, if Nebraska's going to get that second win in the series, they're going to do it in front of an enthusiastic crowd.
Bill, and Nebraska fans are simply outrageous. Last night, this place had to turn away 600 people because it was sold out. And tonight, as early as 4:30 in the afternoon, people were waiting in line to get in to see this match. It's rather reminiscent of last year's match against eventual national champion Texas. When Nebraska took on the Longhorns on Friday night, they dropped 3-0 in straight sets. And the next night they went on to lose the first 2, and I feel because of the home crowd and the home court advantage, Nebraska went on to be victorious. So hopefully the scene is set for that very same thing tonight, and if Nebraska plays well, I think we could be victorious tonight.
When we get all those fans in here, they're going to see some great volleyball action and some great volleyball players. There's a lot of talent on both sides of the net. And we've talked about the setters at the top of the telecast, and the teams have some outstanding hitters as well, but the key might be in the players who are out of the spotlight.
Bill, I talked with Terry Pettit yesterday, and he feels that a team is only as good as their 5th and 6th player. And right now for Nebraska, the 6th and 5th player, or 5th and 6th player, are freshman and sophomore. Eileen Shannon is a freshman. She started all season in replace of Linda Barsness, and she's very good in terms of her skill level, but she's maybe not as experienced at this level as T. William Saunders or Virginia Stair for Nebraska or Val Novak for Nebraska. So if Nebraska can overcome that inexperience and smooth out some edges, I think they'll play real well tonight.
Well, Nebraska looked impressive, and in that loss last night, Hawaii, of course, was outstanding, winning in 3 sets, but Nebraska did some things well. What kind of adjustments are they going to need to make in order to be successful tonight?
Bill, Nebraska has to cut down on the errors. Last night, 10 service errors, 21 attack errors. Nebraska can't play that kind of volleyball when they're playing the number 1 team in the nation. Tonight, they're going to have to play real steady like Hawaii did last night, and if they do that, I think it's going to be a good match.
Well, you've got the best seat in the house here on Nebraska ETV. It may be the premier match in the country this season, Nebraska and Hawaii. Let's get underway. Here's our PA announcer, Steve Johnson, with the player introductions.
Gentlemen, and welcome to Nebraska Volleyball. Tonight's match features the number 1 rated Hawaii Rainbow Wahines and our own Nebraska Huskers. Non-starters for Hawaii. Number 2, a 5'8" sophomore, Miley Golden. Number 4, a 5'3" senior, Jamie Payette. Number 6, a 5'11" freshman, Joanna Som. Number 7, a 5'11" senior, Laura Phillips. Number 12, a 6'3" sophomore, Jamie Long. And number 14, a 5'8" sophomore, Tony Nishida. Starting lineup for the Rainbows. Number 5, a 6-foot junior from Manhattan Beach, California, Carrie Trishman. Number 8, a 6'1" sophomore from Poway, California, Sherry Boyer. Number 9, a 6'1" sophomore from Vallentuna, Sweden, Malin Franson. Number 10, a 6' junior from Waimanao, Hawaii, Mary Robbins. Number 11, a 5'6" freshman from Waialua, Hawaii, Babes Kalulu. And the captain of Hawaii, number 1, two-time All-American 5'11" senior from Long Beach, California, T. William Sanders. The Rainbows are coached by head coach Dave Shoji, assisted by Dean Nowak. And now, introducing the non-starters for Nebraska. Number 2, a 6'2" freshman, Stephanie Thader. Number 3, a 5'8" junior, Becky Boley. Number 5, a 6'2" junior, Linda Barsness. Number 8, a 5'9" freshman, Debbie Brand. Number 9, a 6'2" sophomore, Sarah Hesch. And number 22, a 6' freshman, Valerie Vermeulen. And now, the starting lineup for the Nebraska Huskers. Number 1, a 5'2" junior from Oak Lawn, Illinois, Val Nova. Number 4, a 6'1" senior from Winona, Minnesota, Carla Baker. Number 7, a 6' freshman from Elmhurst, Illinois, Eileen Shannon. Number 17, a 6'1" sophomore from Fort Calhoun, Nebraska, Janet Cruz. And number 25, a 6'2" sophomore from Chanute, Kansas, Chris Hall. And the captain of the Huskers, All-American, number 14, a 6' senior from Waco, Nebraska, Virginia Stair. The Huskers are coached by head coach Terry Pettit, assisted by John Cook, Terry Killian, and Kathy Noth. Officials for tonight's match are Marty Pucko and Steve Wilrich.
Well, Angie, the attendance record here at Nebraska is over 4,000, and what we have here tonight probably won't reach 3,000 because of the fire marshal codes. But I think the people that are here are going to make enough noise to maybe fill the stadium. I don't know, but this crowd is really into it, and those Huskers are really fired up.
Bill, I played here last year underneath that 4,000 crowd at Oklahoma, and I don't see why there isn't 4,000 people in here. It looks as though there are many people now as there was against Oklahoma that night. But like you said, the acoustics in this Coliseum are just awesome. And the noise in here, the enthusiasm level, and the support of the Big Red fans is just incredible. It
really is unbelievable. Nebraska volleyball has just taken such great strides in the last few years, and proof positive is that they've got the University of Hawaii in here tonight. We're getting set to go. It's Nebraska, number 4 in the country, taking on top-ranked Hawaii. The Huskers really have nothing to lose tonight. They dropped a 3-set match to the Rainbow Wahines last night, and they really want to put on a good show in front of this crowd. As we said, the support has been fantastic. And before you wonder what was going on there at the beginning of the match, the Huskers were throwing gum to the crowd. And Mark Dale did a great job of getting out of the way of that, but he did a great job. And we're getting set to go. Virginia Stair will get things underway for Nebraska with the first serve of the ball game.
They were throwing big red gum, we should mention, Bill, because that's the key, the big red.
Sherry Boyer will run the show for Hawaii. She sets Traceman. Traceman's looking for the block. Her attempt is out of bounds. in front of the Nebraska bench. Nebraska starts off with a point right away. Virginia Stair will serve for the second time. Nebraska leads 1-0. Boyer now. Bates Kalulu into the block. Novak and Baker in the net for Nebraska on that block attempt. Babes Kalulu coming from that left side. Not a tall player by any means, but Kalulu is in that starting lineup. She's a great back row player and server, and she serves for Hawaii there. Eileen Shannon for Nebraska off the block. Novak now setting Shannon again. Off the block, good save by Sanders. Sanders now on the offensive. In the back row, dug nicely by Stair. Huskers playing deep on defense. Shannon again. Going the sideline, and then Nebraska with the side out.
That's exactly what Eileen Shannon needs to do tonight, Bill. She had several errors last night. I think she was intimidated a little bit by being a freshman and the incredible. And there you see her with a great approach inside the block, and that's what Eileen Shannon needs to do, is play her game.
Bell Novak serving for Nebraska. Short to Kalulu. Boyer setting Sanders. Off the block with Janet Cruz and out of bounds. Side out back to Hawaii.
It was a very tight set, and when T. Williams Sanders is as tall and has the vertical jump that she did, it's difficult for that ball not to go off the hands of the blocker.
Hawaii now with the side out. They trail 1-0. We are early on. Chris Hall. Novak now setting Janet Cruz off the block. Novak again. Going to Cruz one more time on the right side, left side. Dug by Kalulu. Here's Sanders again. Huskers playing deep on defense. Nice play by Virginia Stair, but the receive goes long out of bounds over the Hawaii defense.
Huskers need to absorb those balls a little bit. The set out to Sanders. She hits it very hard. Virginia Stair needs to absorb that ball in her arm a little bit so that it doesn't fly off the arm as fast as it's coming.
Boyer serving. Novak now in the middle. Eileen Shannon out the block. Good dig in the backcourt. Free ball played by Sanders. Novak will play it off the net. Baker with the dig. Sanders now. Chris Hall can't handle it. Point for Hawaii.
It's tea time right now, Bill. Tia Williams Sanders, an All-American, exceptional player. She was my roommate at the 1986 Olympic Festival, and the girl can hit the ball.
Terry Trishman serving. I mentioned Boyer earlier. Here comes Nebraska on the offensive now. Janet Cruz into the block of Hawaii and down. Another point for the Rainbow Wahinis. They now lead 3-1. Great block by Hawaii on that side. That's Mary Robbins playing that middle area. Trishman serve. Handled by Hall. Quick set to Baker. Dug nicely. Here comes, they're looking for Sanders on the offense. Stair doing a great job deep in the backcourt for Nebraska. She'll have to play the free ball back over, and Hawaii will have another chance on offense. Quick set it is to Robbins. Nice dig by Hall. Quick set to Baker. Nice play by the Huskers.
Little tip there. Nice defense by Nebraska. Baker with very good placement. Nebraska needs to use this serve to get the momentum a little bit so they can get back into this match.
Sanders plays the free ball over into the block. Robbins into the block of Janet Cruz. She plays the dig. And a free ball will be played over by Cruz. Hawaii in the offensive. Boyer, quick set to Robbins. In the backcourt, it's long. Nebraska with another point. They trail 3-2. Eileen Shannon serving for the Huskers.
We've been witnessing the exceptional defense of Virginia Stair back there, Bill. She has an incredible awareness of the court. That ball could easily have been dug, but she knew it was out and she let it go.
Boyer, quick set to Sanders. Her kill attempt is long. 3-3 the score. Now Nebraska's tied it up.
Nebraska needs to play very good defense while they're serving.
Referees say that the ball was touched at the net. And Eileen Shannon wondering just who did it. Terry Pettit, the NU coach, says that that ball was a foot above the blockers. But nevertheless, the side out is going to go back to Hawaii. And the match is not tied up, or the game I should say is not tied up. Hawaii leads 3-2. Sherry Boyer serves now. Hall. Receiving error for Chris Hall. That's something Nebraska just can't afford to do.
And especially at that point, Nebraska thought they had the serve, they had the momentum. All of a sudden, a call by the referee changed the momentum, and then we shanked the pass. That cannot happen tonight to beat Hawaii.
Hall handles that one better. Janet Cruz on the offensive, right in front of Boyer for a side out Nebraska.
And the crowd in this Coliseum loves Janet Cruz.
Carla Baker will serve for Nebraska. She is a key player for the Huskers in this match. She's one of the unsung players we talked about, but she's as good as anybody in the country, really. On the offensive now, Robbins in front of Val Novak. Robbins with the kill, side out to Hawaii. We will have a substitution coming in for Hawaii. That's Jamie Long. She replaces number 11. That's Babes Kalulu, one of the great names in college sports. Long will play the front row. Novak now running the Husker offense. Jenna Cruz off the block and down, side out to Nebraska. So the Huskers now have a chance on offense.
Cruz was one of the Nebraska players last night who had several serving errors. Hopefully that won't be the case this evening.
Boyer now. Back set. Robbins' attack is off of Eileen Shannon. Huskers will play the free ball back over. That's Val Novak playing it high in that Coliseum ceiling. That's kind of a tough play to handle. Jamie Long now on the kill. Side out Hawaii. Jamie Long is a front row specialist for the Rainbow Wahines, and she showed why right there. Hawaii leads it 4-2.
Jamie Long's a big girl, and she can hit the ball harder than almost anybody I think I've ever seen besides T. William Sanders.
Chris Hall for Nebraska. And Sanders and Robbins just kind of look at each other in the backcourt, and Nebraska takes the side out. It's very critical that they come back early.
Here's the attack by Hall. Nice hit. Little confusion with the back row. Hawaii maybe not as pumped up as they were last evening.
Chris Hall serves for Nebraska. Boyer with the back set. Into the net it goes, and Hawaii can't bring it back over on 3 hits. Point for the Huskers. I was saying it's critical for Nebraska to come back early. As we look at the replay.
Just hit the tape.
Nebraska got down and came back and was able to tie it at 4, but then couldn't get any momentum to go back and get a lead of their own in that first set last night. Eileen Shannon now for the Huskers. Off the block and down. Point Nebraska, and they have tied it up.
And that's one of the keys right now, like I said. Set to Eileen. She had a bad night last night. She's coming in showing that she's a freshman. She's inexperienced, but she's going to play her heart out tonight.
Shannon serve, or Hall serve, back set. Tough to handle for Hawaii. And 2 hits is the call off the net. Sherry Boyer trying to get the offense set for Hawaii, and they just really had a tough time with the service received. Chris Hall serving for Nebraska. The Huskers now with a 5-4 lead. We're in the first set. Back deep it goes. Sanders on the receive. Set is Bronson. Cruz can't play the attack. And side out back to Hawaii.
One thing that's difficult for Nebraska, Bill, is they don't play many teams that hit the ball at the velocity that this Hawaii team does. And it's hard to simulate that type of speed on the ball in practice.
Shannon. Over the head of T. William Sanders, side out Nebraska. Nebraska has really got some things going on offense.
Eileen Shannon doing a great job. She's from one of the premier junior national teams in Chicago, Illinois. And she's going to play tonight.
Virginia Stair with the serve for Nebraska. Off the block is Treishman. Treishman again will try and get it off the block. Eileen Shannon doing a great job on defense for Nebraska. Now Novak will set Shannon again. Off the block for Hawaii. And the Huskers with another chance on offense. Carla Baker, quick set. Boyer setting Jamie Long. Nice block by Baker and Novak. Little miscommunication for the Huskers. They're going to have to play the free ball back over to Hawaii. And the Hawaii offense sets up. And Boyer with a dump over that net.
That free ball we just saw is something that we can't see Nebraska do. Miscommunication, that was Janet Cruz's ball. Novak should take the second hit. Hopefully those things will iron out a little bit in this first match.
Hawaii serves. Stair with the receive. Shannon in the middle. Good dig by Treishman. Here's Sanders on the offensive for Hawaii. And the Huskers off the block of Carla Baker. She tried to get set up for the offensive attack, and just kind of a little miscommunication between Novak and Baker as to who was going to take the set. We're tied up at 5. Kalulu serving. Service error by Babes Kalulu will send it back to Nebraska with the side out, and Huskers trying to break the 5-all tie. Val Novak will serve for Nebraska. Huskers' best server. She's got a string of 15 straight matches with the service ace, so we'll have to watch and see if she can continue that tonight. T. William Sanders, big kill by the All-American.
There's not a whole lot that the Nebraska defense can do about this. Very strong approach by T inside the block. And I mean, that ball is moving fast.
Hawaii with the side out. We're tied at 5. Trishman with the serve. Novak setting Janet Cruz over the block. And it was touched by the Hawaii block out of bounds and side out back to Nebraska. So Nebraska and Hawaii trading blows right now. And it's a key point in the game for Nebraska to be able to land a big blow right here and get some momentum in front of this crowd.
They need momentum and they need to cut down on errors. Both teams are making errors at this point. And there was a touch on the block on that one, Bill, by T. Williams.
T. Williams Sanders is one of the best players in the country, and she's just very versatile, and she can hit from all areas of the court. She showed that coming off the screen there. Bronson with the serve. And the service received by Nebraska couldn't be handled by Janet Cruz, and T. Williams Sanders took advantage of that.
T. Williams Sanders takes an overpass here. Carla Baker wasn't even expecting it. And it puts Hawaii up by 1.
6-5 Hawaii. Bronson with the serve. Quick set to Baker off the block and down side out Nebraska.
Set by Novak to Baker. There's 2 people up, but she goes inside the block for the kill.
Right around Mary Robbins. We have a substitution coming in for Nebraska. Terry Pettit sends Becky Boley into the lineup with a top spin jump serve that's so effective. It's almost like a spike. We'll see it right here. Hawaii with a good receive. The quick set in the middle. Dug by Cruz and Novak. Now to Chris Hall. Bronson. Setting Boyer. A side out back to Hawaii.
Set to Bronson. Hole in the block on Nebraska. They need to get that block set up very solidly out there.
T. Williams Sanders serving for Hawaii. They lead by 1. Boley in the backcourt. Up to Novak. Janet Cruz.
Block that time, and Janet Cruz is also hitting over the top of 5'7" Babes Kalulu. At this point, when Babes Kalulu is blocking on the left side, you're going to see Val Novak set the ball behind her head on almost every play. We'll see what she does.
Valerie Vermeulen checks in for Janet Cruz, and she will serve for Nebraska. Boyer back set out of Mary Robbins. Bowling in the backcourt with the dig. Quick set in the middle to Stair. Played nicely by Hawaii. Free ball played back over, and Boley and the Huskers in offense will have another chance. Chris Hall off the block and down. And Nebraska picks up a point and ties it up back at 6.
Novak opted to go outside to Chris Hall instead of going over Babes Kalulu, like I said, but it was nevertheless a kill for Chris Hall.
The freshman from Wantagh, New York, Valerie Vermeulen, comes in and gets a point for Nebraska in this all-important first game. Hawaii now. Kalulu into the block of Virginia Stair. Ace block, Virginia Stair. And another point for the Huskers. They take a 7-6 lead. Hawaii coming in with a substitution. They had Kalulu in the front row, as Angie alluded to, and she's only 5'8". They get Jamie Long back into the game, and Jamie comes in at 6'3", so there's a big height advantage that Hawaii can get when they get her in the front row. Nebraska with a 7-6 lead. Robbins again with a kill. Ace blocked by Virginia Stair. Once again, 2 in a row for the product of Utica Centennial High School.
Stair with a great movement out. The Coliseum is rocking. Nebraska needs to have blocks like that when they are serving. Blocking for a side out isn't good enough. They have to block when they're serving because that scores points and that brings exceptional momentum to the game.
And the Huskers are trying to build that momentum, and Dave Soji is trying to halt it. He calls timeout. His Rainbow Wahine's trail by 2. Terry Pettit's Huskers lead 8-6.
One thing we might mention, Bill, the reason that I think Dave Soji, head coach for Hawaii, left Babes Kalulu in there, she's a defensive specialist, and Jamie Long, her cohort, is an offensive specialist. But Dave Soji will leave Kalulu in the front row because he only has 3 substitutions. And when you're in a game such as this and teams are siding out, you'll be in a situation where you're tied at 8-8 and you've already used those 3 rotations.
That happened last night in the third set. Hawaii was able to overcome that. Service receive error by Hawaii, and Valerie Vermeulen has come in and given the Huskers 4 straight points, and Nebraska now with a 9-6 lead.
Valerie has a very tough serve for a freshman, and that's momentum that you can't buy.
Back set now, Jamie Long. Blocked by Val Novak. The Husker defense is on its game tonight.
Not only a block by Val Novak, Bill, but that was a solo block by Val Novak.
And that was going against Jamie Long. We talked about her power, and she went up against Val Novak, and Novak didn't back down and got the best of that one. The Huskers lead by 4, 10-6.
Long had 8 kills last night. She should know better than to hit one-on-one and get blocked, but fortunately for Nebraska, solo block for Novak and a great point.
Shannon digs for Nebraska. Novak now runs the show. Quick set to Virginia Stair at the net. And T. William Sanders can't play the receive from Chris Hall, and Nebraska takes a 5-point lead, and Hawaii is really out of sync defensively.
One thing that head coach Terry Pettit teaches Nebraska players is when you're one-on-one at the net, you hit the ball second, and that will force the ball to go back on the other side.
Vermeulen, who had done such a great job serving for Nebraska early, has a service error, but she's given Nebraska a 5-point lead, and Nebraska, who was beaten last night 15-9, 15-9, has already gone over that hump right there. Nebraska leads it 11-6. We're in the first set.
Hawaii looking like they're getting a little bit more motivated. I mentioned to you in the pregame, Bill, that they looked as though they were kind of loafing in their warm-up, like maybe they didn't have anything to worry about with these Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I think the team in red and white has come to prove them wrong.
Mary Robbins serves for Hawaii. Chris Hall off the set of Val Novak, and the Huskers offense is rocking and rolling tonight at the Coliseum.
Back set by Novak over the top of the block. You've got 2 very tall blockers with Long and Trishman, and Chris Hall goes over the top.
Hall will serve for Nebraska. Robbins with the service receiving error, and Nebraska now up 12-6.
Can you feel the emotion in this Coliseum, Bill?
This place is electric. I'm glad we had good seats for this. Back set now. Hawaii trying to get something in the Huskers. Eileen Shannon with the block. 13-6 to score.
Awesome block by Eileen Shannon. It's solo. She's over the top of the net. It's straight down. I told KRNU Radio last night, they asked me, what does Nebraska have to do tomorrow night to win? I said they need to serve tough and they need to block for points, and that's exactly what we're seeing them do tonight.
They picked up 2 or 3 point blocks in this first set alone, and Nebraska leads 13-6, and the crowd at the Coliseum is on its feet. This is great. This is a great atmosphere, Angie.
I think 2 of the most important skills in volleyball are serving and blocking, and a lot of times those 2 are overlooked, but those are the 2 things that bring momentum to a squad and score points, and that's what we see Nebraska doing a little bit better than Hawaii at this point. Let's see with Chris Hall if they can continue.
Soji called timeout to break the momentum of Nebraska. Nebraska's reeled off a big lead. They were tied at 5. 13-6 is now our score. The Huskers trying to put the clamps on Hawaii in the first set. Boyer back set to Franzen. Novak. Cruz now setting Eileen Shannon into the block. Good dig by Shannon. The Husker offense will have another chance. Shannon one more time. Good dig in the backcourt, saved out of the crowd. Sanders will play the free ball over. Dug off the floor by Chris Hall. Eileen Shannon again. And Hawaii, Jamie Long on offense. Good block by the Huskers, dug by Boley. Quick set it is to Virginia Stair. Good dig by Sanders. Jamie Long another chance. She'll dink it off the block. Back and forth they go. And Franzen finally ends it on that exchange. Side out back to Hawaii.
Pass up, Franzen just over. When you get in a rally like that, it seems as volleys go on, it starts to become more sloppier, and Hawaii was able to control that particular one.
The play at the net, the 2 blockers went up. Jamie Long seemed to get the better of it, but her block went out of bounds. Side out back to Nebraska. And Terry Pettit has got to be very anxious about this. He's got a substitution coming in. Becky Boley checks out. Janet Cruz back into the Husker lineup. Check that, Carla Baker into the lineup for Nebraska, replacing Boley. Virginia Stair serve. Here comes Hawaii on offensive. Big block by Baker.
And the Nebraska blocking game is almost flawless tonight, Bill. Carla Baker, Val Novak team up. Jamie Long attack. It's back on the Hawaii side of the court.
14-6 the score. Virginia Stair serving for the first set. Sanders. Treisman. Good dig by Stair. And the Huskers trying to get the ball back over and can't do it as it falls in front of Eileen Shannon. The crowd at the Coliseum is going to have to wait. Substitution coming in for Hawaii. Paige Kalulu will enter. Jamie Long will go out. And Kalulu will serve. Nebraska leads 14-6. And if they can get this first set, what a big momentum boost it's going to be for Nebraska. Kalulu served. Received by Stair. Novak. Now Huskers will play the free ball over. Hawaii with a chance on offense. Treisman, nice block by Baker. Another chance. T. Williams Sanders. Nothing Virginia Stair can do but watch. When you're down, you go to the best.
Virginia Stair placing herself on the baseline as T. Williams Saunders oftentimes goes over the block, deep on the baseline. That time she ended up a little short of that, and ace for T.
Shannon with the kill for Nebraska. Side out Huskers.
The Coliseum crowd is so loud that these players are having difficulty hearing each other, and we're seeing a lot of communication errors.
They're on their feet again. Val Novak, the serving specialist for Nebraska, serving for the first set. Boyer, quick set to Treisman. Baker with the block at the net, and Nebraska takes the first game 15-7.
Incredible effort by the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Their game wasn't flawless, Bill. They made some mistakes. They had some communication errors, but they were solid. They came out here. They wanted to play this game. Served by Novak. Bates Kalulu has a nice pass here. Set to Treisman, and it's blocked by Carla Baker. An incredible effort by the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Hawaii hanging their head a bit as they walk back to the bench, but now they know that the red and white has come to play ball, and we'll see a great match coming up here for the rest of the night.
Just to put in perspective how impressive that performance by Nebraska was, Hawaii has only lost 5 games this season. They're unbeaten. I believe they're 52-5. Now they're 52-6, I should say. But they've only lost 5 games this year, and the only match that they've lost this season was to the USSR junior national team. They lost that in 5 sets, came back the next night and beat them, so they avenged their only loss of the season, that of course being an exhibition. And now they're in a match right here with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The crowd at the Coliseum is definitely the 6th man or 6th person or 7th person, I guess it is in volleyball. The crowd is really into it. These Huskers have really got to be feeling a big boost right now. They got over the hill, they got over the 9-point hill, and not only did that, they do that, but they took the first set.
Hawaii has an incredible backing for their volleyball program as well, as you saw before. The students that go to the University of Nebraska that are from Hawaii, and the diehard fans who flew into Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend to see this tournament. Their support is outrageous, and because of that, Hawaii has played us in similar situations. Although I don't think they've ever played in an arena or a coliseum that the acoustics are this loud. I don't think they've ever played in a noise level that is even close to this. So I think Hawaii might be a little overwhelmed. They're down, they don't have the momentum, and the Coliseum is rocking, and they're not rocking for them.
But they didn't get to be the best team in the country for without having talent.
Here's the stats for the game. Hawaii had more kills. Nebraska's service aces were higher. That's a big thing. Look at the blocks, Bill. 7 blocks for Nebraska, 1 block for Hawaii, and we can see serve and block is the big statistic here in this game, and Nebraska definitely dominated in that first game.
In last night's action, and when Hawaii won that in 3 sets, they really had the better of Nebraska on both the serves and the blocking categories. Defensively, Hawaii was sound last night, and Nebraska seems to bring their defensive level up on the blocks. And as you said, they needed to block for points, and they did just that. We don't have an exact total on how many they had, but they had to have had 3 or 4 points off of blocks.
I'll tell you what, Nebraska isn't going to be able to shut down T. Williams Sanders. She's just too good a player.
Well, we'll see what they can do for us here. We're getting set to go here in the 3rd set. Nebraska will serve. We'll get things underway. Val Novak, the junior setter out of Oaklawn, Illinois. She is the nation's top setter heading into this weekend. She is just points ahead of Sherry Boyer of Hawaii. Novak just over 14 set assists per game, and Boyer just under 14 herself. So the 2 best in the country at that position going at it here. Val Novak, as I said at the top of the show, one of the best servers in the Big 8 Conference and in the country. We'll get things underway. Into the backcourt it goes. Sherry Boyer, quick set to Trishman. Novak on the knees, set to Shannon. Big block in the middle. Nice dig by Cruz. Shannon will give it one more chance and into the net. Side out Hawaii.
Nebraska doing the little things much better tonight. Their blocker coverage and their defense on attacks out of the middle is much better than it was last night.
Jamie Long gets things underway. Novak, Baker in the middle. T. Williams Sanders with the block and a point for Hawaii.
Jamie Long seems to be the person they want to go to now with the serve. She's bringing momentum to the Hawaii squad. That topspin serve is very hard, and that topspin is very hard to pass.
Janet Cruz off the block, dug by Sanders. Quick set to Trishman, big block by Baker. Dumped by Boyer. Cruz, set Shannon. Tried to dig it by T. Williams Sanders, tried to get the dig, but hit it into her own teammate.
Shannon doesn't do this very often. She just rolls shots right over the top of the block on the outstretched hands of T. Williams Sanders, and that was a great play by Eileen to change up her spiking a little bit.
Mary Rodman's having a tough time on the serve from Eileen Shannon. Give the ace to Shannon and Nebraska with the first point of the third set. We're tied at 1 now. The freshman's serve is dug by Sanders. Sanders on the offensive now. Good dig by Virginia Stair. Chris Hall now. Boyer will set it up again. Jamie Long out of the backcourt. Dug by Novak. Nebraska's defense really clicking. Janet Cruz off of Trishman and out of bounds. Point Nebraska.
And as you said, Bill, the defense of Nebraska is really clicking. What a dig by Virginia Stair and an answer dig by Val Novak. And the soft shot there by Janet Cruz. She catches the arm of Trishman.
Boyer, quick set to Trishman, blocked by Baker. Free ball played over by Sanders. Baker into the block. Trishman and Sanders in the middle, doing the blocking for Hawaii. Side out, back to the Rainbow Wahines. Trishman will serve for the Rainbow Wahines. They trail 2-1. Third set action. We're tied at 1 in sets. Serve goes deep. Eileen Shannon trying to get out of the way, and she just couldn't do it. The ball hit the letters, but Shannon was standing out of bounds. It hit her, and of course that's off Nebraska.
She's real embarrassed about that. That's the second time this match that's happened, and Terry Pettit saying, get out of the way.
They've got to talk back there. Let them know where that ball is. Give them a little depth perception. 2-2 our score. Carrie Trishman with an ace.
Eileen out of the passing rotation. She's standing on the baseline because they don't want her to pass the ball. And when Virginia Stair lets it go long to be out, it's hitting Eileen Shannon.
Janet Cruz. We should let Steve Johnson call that when he's the PA announcer. He really gets the crowd into a kill by Janet Cruz. Sophomore in a Fort Calhoun, Nebraska, gets the side out back to Nebraska. Carla Baker's serve. Into the backcourt. Boyer. Quick set to Sanders. Baker digs to Novak. Quick set to Virginia Stair. No call by the official, but Jamie Long can't play the ball off of Boyer. Nebraska takes a 3-2 lead.
Set by Novak to Stair. Not a hard spike like we talked about earlier, but she knows when the blockers aren't up. She knows when she's one-on-one, and she knows who to dump it to, and she did just that to Sherry Boyer.
Received by Trishman is hit out of bounds on the Nebraska side. 4-2 now Nebraska leads. Carla Baker with another couple of points off her serve. Into the backcourt once again. Boyer now. Long set to T. Williams Sanders. Dig by Baker. Back set to Chris Hall. Trishman with the dig. Again Sanders. Dug by Baker again. Free ball played by Chris Hall. Sanders a third time into the net. Nebraska 5-2.
I am so impressed with Carla Baker's play tonight, Bill. Set by Sanders, this one into the net, but Baker had 3 great digs in a row there, and she's not noted as being one of the best defensive players on Nebraska's team, but she's showing that she can play defense tonight.
And she dug T. Williams Sanders. That's the best Hawaii has to offer on the attack. And Baker answered the call. She's got the serve. She's given Nebraska 5-2 lead. Sanders again into the block. Virginia Stair and Chris Hall at the net. And Stair kind of wanted Chris Hall to get a hold of the ball after she blocked it. But just out of position, side out back to Hawaii. Nebraska leads 5-2. Sherry Boyer with the serve. And the serve is wide. Service error for Hawaii. Side out back to Nebraska. And Valerie Vermeulen, number 22, will check in for Janet Cruz, and she will serve. She's a freshman, but she served like a veteran tonight. She's picked up a couple of critical points for Nebraska, particularly back in that first set. Her first serve of the third set. Boyer, long set to Treatment. Check that, that's Malin Franzen. And she gets the side out back to Hawaii. T. William Sanders will serve for Hawaii when we get things underway. Janet Cruz will check back in for Vermeulen on the substitution by Terry Pettit.
Sanders in the back row now. Nebraska needs to get the side out, get things rolling, so they can play on the net without Sanders up there.
Chris Hall, big block in the middle. Tony Nishida, only 5'8", but she's a big blocker for Hawaii. That's why she's in there. Point for Hawaii. 5-3 now the score. Sanders' second serve. Deep in the backcourt. Baker up to Novak. Quick set to Virginia Stair. Big block on that right side by Treishman. Mullen Franzen again. She and Treishman look an awful lot alike. Giving me a hard time, but Mullen Franzen with that block. Here comes the Husker offense again. Chris Hall with the kill. Nebraska side out.
Set by Novak to Chris Hall. Through the block. You can see a little hole in the block there. And Chris Hall saw it, and she hit it.
Chris Hall will serve for Nebraska. They lead by 1, 5-4. Boyer to Jamie Long. For Jake. And a carry called by the officials. Big block by Nebraska at the net. Virginia Stair, Val Novak put the ball right back at Jamie Long, and she was just out of position to make a play. Nebraska 6-4 now. Chris Hall serving again. Boyer, back set to Franzen. Boyer now, looking for Long. Janet Cruz, Nishida. Huskers doing a great job on defense. Free ball will be played over by Chris Hall. Hawaii will have another chance on the arc. Nishida. Boyer setting long. Her attack is wide. Point Nebraska, 7-4 now the score. And Dave Shoji calls timeout, and Terry Pettit likes what he sees.
I think the majority of the people in this Coliseum like what they see right now, Bill. The crowd is on their feet. They are happy to see that their Cornhuskers from Nebraska are playing so well against a powerhouse like the Hawaii Rainbow Wahines.
Well, Hawaii is a powerhouse, there's no doubt about it. Under Dave Shoji, they've won 4 national titles in his 15 years as head coach. This is his 15th season. They've won 85% of the games under Shoji. Picked up his 426th victory last night against just 77 losses. And as I said, 4 national championships. Terry Pettit, a great coach in his own right. 395 wins in his 13th season at Nebraska. He's trying to get his team back to the Final Four, which will be at Hawaii. So these two teams, this might not be the curtain call for either one of them. They may see each other down the road. Nebraska 7-4, third set. We're tied up at sets, 1 apiece. Chris Hall serving for Nebraska. Tough time on the receive. Nebraska with a chance. Virginia Stair off the block and down in front of Boyer. Another point for Nebraska.
I think that ball just hit the top of the tape, Bill. Let's watch it here. She sends the ball. I think it hit the top of the tape. It did, and then it bounced up a little higher. And Sherry Boyer misjudged it a little bit as the tape aided on that one.
Nebraska getting the breaks. Another tough serve by Hall. Mullen Franzen with the right-handed kill. Side out Hawaii. Tony Nishida will serve. Nebraska leads 8-4. Cruz to Novak. Eileen Shannon in front of T. William Sanders. Great kill by the freshman.
Great set out to Novak. Very strong approach by the freshman Eileen Shannon, and she has come to play ball tonight. She doesn't want to be blocked. She doesn't want to make errors. She wants to be a Nebraska Cornhusker.
Stair serving for Nebraska. Boyer, quick set to Trishman in front of Janet Cruz. Kill by Carrie Trishman. Side out Hawaii. 8-4 the score, third set. Malin Franzen will serve. Chris Hall to Novak. Far side to Shannon. Not touched by the block, the officials say. Her attack is long point Hawaii, 8-5 the score. Eileen Shannon has really turned things around from last night. Angie mentioned 6 kills but 5 errors, and she really didn't have the kind of match that you need to have when you're playing Hawaii or any team in the country that's as good as they are. And Terry Pettit has to be pleased with the play he's getting out of the freshman. We talked about it at the top of the show as well in the pregame. The 5th and 6th players for Nebraska are young players, but they're playing like veterans tonight. Nebraska leads 8-5, third set. Sanders plays the free ball over. Novak, quick set to Baker. Good dig by Baker. 2 hits called.
Baker played the ball off the net. Then they say that the blocker for Hawaii touched it, and that's why she attacked it. I thought it was 2 hits. Let's see here. Novak goes up, sets Baker. There's a touch. She plays it up. Nope, no touch before. That was 2 hits by Baker.
Babes Kalulu checks in for Hawaii. Jamie Long checks out. Kalulu, a back row specialist. Big serve by Kalulu. The Huskers having a tough time on the receive. Kalulu picks up a point for Hawaii. They now trail by 2, 8-6.
That's a big momentum boost for Hawaii. Nebraska, on the other hand, can't take that in stride. They have to answer right back with the side out here.
Kalulu's second serve. Deep in the backcourt. Stair with the receive. Novak to Janet Cruz on the right side. Quick set to Trishman. Nice play by Baker at the net.
Set in the middle. Nice block by Carla Baker and Eileen Shannon. Trishman kind of hits over the top of her head, and I think that enables her, or it doesn't allow her sometimes to see the block.
Boyer setting Sanders. Off the block of Baker and in front of Virginia Stair. Side out Hawaii.
Trishman kind of has a sidearm swing to her attack in the middle. And as I said before, I don't think she really sees the block set up, and she's been blocked more in this match than I think she probably has in other matches she's played in.
Trishman serving for Hawaii. Novak to Baker in the middle. Good dig by Trishman. Free ball played by Sanders. Shannon now at the net they go. Dual hit called.
Calling a backcourt attack on Val Novak. She's in the back row. Novak was just trying to save the ball, but she was trying to save the ball, and it appeared as though she was attacking. Nebraska not complaining about that call too much because I think they know that they were at fault.
Point for Hawaii. 8-7 Nebraska leads. Trishman serve. Novak. Back set to Janet Cruz. Big block by Sanders. Debbie Brand trying to get to it. She just checked in, and Hawaii's tied the match. Debbie Brand out of Adelaide, Australia, checked in for Eileen Shannon prior to that last serve.
Set by Novak to Cruz. Nice block by Nishida and T. William Saunders.
8-8 our score. Nebraska takes time out.
Real steady play by both teams. One team gets the momentum, causes the other team to make a few errors. Then it switches back and forth, and that's the kind of great volleyball that these fans have come to watch, that I'm sure our viewers are happy to be watching at this point. And I certainly am glad that we're here, Bill, and that we have the opportunity to be doing this for NETV.
We're tied at 8, third set action. This is a critical point for Nebraska. Last night, in the 3 games that they played, the 2 teams were tied or relatively close up to the 8, 9, 10-point range, and Hawaii was able to put Nebraska away. It was 10-9 at one point in the first set, 9-9 in the second, 8-8 in the third, and Hawaii was able to put Nebraska away 15-9 in all 3 of them. We're tied at 8 here in the third set, so this may be a critical point for Nebraska in this match. Trishman serve. Novak looking for Chris Hall, left side. Off the block and out of bounds. Chris Hall taking on the 5'8" Tony Nishida, and Chris Hall wins the battle. Nebraska side out. Carla Baker setting to serve. Becky Boley will check in for her. And the serving weapon checks in. And the crowd on its feet for this one.
Pettit substituting to try to get the momentum. Boley, of course, with the jump serve.
Tough to handle. Nice play by Franson. T. William Sanders. Good dig by Debbie Brand. Sanders again. Just wide. As the official looked like it may have been on the line, but the official right on the call.
Set here, T. Williams inside the block. Looks like it grabbed the line here, but we weren't at a very good angle, Bill. I think the line judge probably had a better view of that one.
But he didn't have the replay. T. William Sanders will join again. And she gets the better of that one. And she gets the side out. That ball was close.
Great dig by Debbie Brand the play before on the first attack by T. William Saunders. That thing was moving. Debbie in very good defensive position to make the dig.
Nebraska 9-8. Sherry Boyer serves for Hawaii. Novak. Back set to Janet Cruz. Off the block and out of bounds. Side out Nebraska. Kill for Janet Cruz.
And the crowd saying, ooh, for Janet Cruz.
Vermeulen will check in for Janet Cruz, and she will serve. (9-8) to score. Third set. Daves Kalulu to Boyer. Bronson. Is long. Not off the block. Hawaii wanted it off the block, and they didn't get it. Nebraska 10-8 to score.
I think every team just automatically puts their hands up and signals touch. Anytime you hit out of bounds, you're just searching.
Vermeulen, Kalulu again. Boyer a long way to get the set. Bronson jumps it over. Played by the Huskers. Virginia Stair with the attempt in the middle. Big block by Tony Nishida in the middle. Side out for Hawaii. Laura Phillips will check in along with Jamie Long. Babes Kalulu and T. William Sanders will check out for Hawaii, and Laura Phillips will serve. They trail by 2.
T. William Sanders out of the match now. Good time for Nebraska to take the advantage and roll some points here after they get this side out.
Nebraska will have to play the free ball over. Vermeulen. Boyer backs up to Bronson. Big block by Chris Hall. Bronson setting Jamie Long. In front of a sprawling Becky Boley. Point Hawaii. Vermeulen will check out. Janet Cruz will come back into the lineup. Terry Pettit had kind of an unusual lineup in there for in that last point. He had Vermeulen, Brand, and Boley all in the lineup at the same time. Relatively inexperienced. But he leaves Boley and Brand in. Nebraska now on the offensive. Chris Hall into the net. 4 hits is the call. Hawaii is tied to set up at 10.
Boley and Brand, mainly defensive specialists, so that's one of the reasons Terry Pettit's leaving them in there. Although they don't really have maybe the flow of the game like the other players do, but they can pass and play defense just as well as any of the other guys.
Boley has just checked out. Carla Baker back in. The senior leadership of Carla Baker in the lineup for Nebraska. Novak looking for Chris Hall. Hawaii now with the chance. Back set. Holland Franson. Big block by Chris Hall and Virginia Stair.
And around here we call it Chris Hall the wall. Back set. Hit by Franson, and Chris Hall is just about, there's no way you can go over the top of her. Her arm span is very long. She's got very big hands, and she's just an exceptional blocker.
6'2" sophomore out of Chanute, Kansas. She will serve for Nebraska. The match is tied at 10. Back and forth we go in this match. Boyer, quick set to Nishida. Side out Hawaii.
Witnessing the incredible jumping power of Tony Nishida. Only 5'8", but she can jump.
She comes out of the Hawaii lineup. Mary Robbins checks in, number 10. She will serve. The Hawaii fans like that play. I think the Husker fans have to appreciate the ability of Tony Nishida. Robbins serves. Novak. Far side Eileen Shannon. Off of Sherry Boyer and out of bounds side out Nebraska. We're still tied at 10.
That's one good thing about the Nebraska fans, Bill. They'll applaud when they see a good play. They like to see T. Williams play. They like to see Tony Nishida play. They're not rude fans. They're just great fans.
Virginia Stair serving for Nebraska. Robbins to Boyer. Backs it to Franson. Huskers play the free ball over. Nice play by Nebraska and Val Novak and Eileen Shannon. At the net they go. Baker's block goes wide. Side out Hawaii.
Both teams being very scrappy tonight, getting plays over that you would never assume that you would get. And that's what makes a match like this a lot more exciting.
10's on the score. Eileen Shannon tried to be a little polite on her attack and into the block, and Hawaii breaks the 10-all tie. They lead by 1.
Val Novak telling Eileen Shannon to be aggressive. She wants to set Eileen as she's been successful tonight, but not if she's not going to be aggressive.
Shannon plays the free ball over. Boyer setting the offense. Tough play for Trishman. Dug by Hall. Novak. Shannon, far side. Dug by Franson. Long at the 10-foot line. Nebraska now on the offense. Eileen Shannon, back row. Quick set it goes. Big block by Baker. Jamie Long. Big hit. Dug by Hall. Eileen Shannon on the far side again. Back and forth they go. Jamie Long for Hawaii. Huskers blocking at the net. And their attack is wide by Carrie Trishman, and Nebraska takes side out. What an exchange by Nebraska and Hawaii.
It was just a back and forth. It seemed like a drill in practice where you your outside hitter hits the ball the other team. They set out to their outside hitter. Hawaii at the end of that rally finally tried to set Trishman on a slide behind the setter, and she was unsuccessful with the attack out.
Novak close to serve. Boyer sets Trishman, blocked by Baker. Huskers tie the score at 11.
Steve Johnson, the PA announcer, really getting into this. I think he aids in the momentum a lot in this match. Great block by Nebraska. No call timeout.
Dave Shogi calls timeout. Terry Pettit congratulates his team. They're coming back. 11-11. And the Husker fans on their feet. They love it. The pep band behind their team. The fans behind their team. This is everything we thought. This is a great matchup. The two of the best teams in the country. We mentioned coming into this weekend, they were the only two unbeaten teams left in 1989. Hawaii really took an impressive match over Nebraska last night, 3-0. And Nebraska, we talked to one of the coaches this afternoon, and she said Nebraska, frankly, has nothing to lose tonight. And they don't, and they're playing like it. And they're playing like winners, in fact. Tied at 11, third set action, and we're tied 1-all in sets.
That helps them a lot, ease the pressure. Hawaii's undefeated. They want to perhaps keep that mark. Nebraska's already dropped one last night to Hawaii. So you're exactly right in saying that, Bill Dolman. They don't have anything to lose, and they're playing like they have no fear in their eyes.
Val Novak will serve when we get things underway. Robbins. Trishman. Novak, jump set. No net call. Janet Cruz off the block and down. Point Nebraska. They take the lead 12-11.
Back set by Novak to Cruz. Hole in the block, big hole. You see Trishman had a little problem getting out there to set up the block. Janet Cruz saw the hole and hit the ball hard right in it.
Nebraska 12-11. Novak serves again. Robbins. Boyer setting Trishman. Kill for Carrie Trishman. Side out Hawaii. Substitutions coming back in for Hawaii. A couple of players Nebraska really doesn't want to see. T. William Sanders, the All-American, and Babes Kalulu, the backcourt specialist, will come in. Kalulu will serve. Hawaii trails by 1. Hall to Novak, jump set. Eileen Shannon. Kalulu. Free ball will be played over. Nebraska will have another chance on offense. Novak looking for Janet Cruz. Ace kill for Janet Cruz.
Nebraska doing a nice job of taking advantage of that free ball that was given to him right here on this play. Novak set out to Janet Cruz, and she'll go down the line with an incredible and very fast coming ball. Eileen Shannon, Nebraska leading by 1.
Tough handle on the receive, and Carla Baker called for being in the net. Tough call for Nebraska. They had Hawaii right where they wanted them on that serve. Bronson couldn't handle the receive, and Nebraska had a free ball, but Baker was in the net. Side out to Hawaii. Tony Nishida checks into the front court for Hawaii. Mary Robbins will check out. Carrie Treisman will serve. They trail by one. 12-11, third set action. Cruz. Nebraska will have to play the free ball over. Sanders gets it to Boyer. Here comes Sanders. Good kick by Shannon. Huskers hustling to get it. Cruz will play the free ball over. Great play by the freshman Eileen Shannon. Boyer with the dunk.
That was a very intelligent play by Sherry Boyer. She knew that Virginia Stair and Val Novak were still off the court. And I think maybe they were trying to get back into position, waiting, thinking that there was still another hit on the other side. Boyer knew that. She could sense that, and she sends the dump over.
Debbie Brand checks in for Eileen Shannon. Terry Pett will have a word with her on the Nebraska bench. We're tied at 12. Carrie Treisman with the serve. Deep serve to Cruz. Go back. Sets Hall. Chris Hall with the kill. Out of bounds. Side up Nebraska.
Set out to Hall. Very powerful arm swing by Chris. Goes off the top of the hands of the blockers for a kill.
Carla Baker, the senior, will serve. 12-12. Kalulu wanted to play it. Good talk in the backcourt between the players in the backcourt for Hawaii. Her serve goes long. Critical error for Nebraska. Sherry Boyer will serve. We're tied at 12. Baker to Novak. Quick set to Virginia Stair. Off Carrie Treisman, kill for Virginia Stair.
So we've seen Virginia Stair soft shot and tip and throw balls into holes tonight, and have not seen her hit very many, but she got a hold of that one.
Janet Cruz serving. We're tied at 12. Treisman to Boyer. Tough set. T. William Sanders, big block in the middle by Stair. Free ball played over by Hawaii. Nebraska with a chance on offense. Jump and a spike by Val Novak. Nebraska takes the lead.
And there you see an advantage that Nebraska has with Val Novak being a left-handed setter. Here you see the ball very close to the net, and because Novak's left-handed, she can go over the top of her head and actually attack the ball. If she was right-handed, she would be unable to do that.
A lot of action on that service. Off the block for Marlon Franzen. Marlon Franzen gets the kill, and Hawaii gets the side out. Jamie Long and Laura Phillips will check in. T. William Sanders and Babes Kalulu will check out for Hawaii. Phillips will serve for Dave Soji. He's seen his team battle back, get behind and battle back, but he's also seen Nebraska come up, tie the score, and now Nebraska leads 13-12 in the third set. Nebraska will substitute on their side, taking Debbie Brand out and replacing her with Eileen Shannon. Brand doing a good job on defense for Nebraska while she was in. Laura Phillips will serve for Hawaii. 13-12 our score. Hall to Novak. Here's Hall. Jamie Long can't get it. Carrie Treisman can't get it. Kill for Chris Hall.
Set out to Chris Hall. She's even set off the net, Bill, which makes it more difficult to cut the ball that sharply inside the block. And the Hawaii defense rotated, thinking there's no way she can hit the ball this sharp, and Chris Hall did it. That was a great play.
She gets the side out back to the Husker side. T. William Sanders checks back in for Laura Phillips, and Chris Hall, who just got the side out for Nebraska, will do the serving honors. They lead by one. 13-12, third set. Sanders to Boyer. Jamie Long from the 10-foot line. Dug by Hall. Novak now giving it to Eileen Shannon. Off the block, big block by Nishida and Franzen inside out Hawaii. Hawaii doing a great job responding at the net with the blocks. Back and forth we go. Once we get past 10, these two teams don't want to give anything up. Carla Baker, Novak now. Eileen Shannon in the middle with the dink, dug by Sanders. Quick set. Off of Chris Hall and out of bounds. Terry Pettit wants timeout. We're tied at 13.
Terry Pettit, I'm sure we'll have a word with Eileen Shannon here. She was blocked on the first play. Second play, she came around for a two-set and tipped right into the arms of T. William Sanders, giving basically Hawaii a free ball. Terry Pettit here talking with Val Novak, maybe telling her not to set Eileen Shannon after she's been blocked. Who knows? But I think as we talked last night, Bill, one of the things that Novak was doing when Eileen Shannon was being blocked is she was setting her again on the next play, hoping that she would have a kill, maybe to keep her confidence in the match, because basically there's no one that can be substituted for Eileen Shannon. With Linda Barson's out for the season with her knee injury, you've got to keep Eileen Shannon's head in the game, and I think Novak knows that.
Tony Nishida will serve for Hawaii. We're tied at 13. Cruz, Novak, far side to Shannon. Dug by Long, Nebraska with another opportunity. Quick set to Virginia Stair. She plays it off the block. Novak with the kill. Val Novak to center.
There's another big advantage to that left hand. Novak doesn't even get an approach there. Watch, she's standing straight up, but because she has the left hand, she hammers it in for a kill.
Virginia Stair serving for Nebraska, tied at 13. Bronson, tough receive. Boy, they're going to have to play the free ball over. T. William Sanders hits it into the net. Point Nebraska.
There's a big play right there. As I said before, that number 14, the band is jumping all over. The crowd is on their feet. T. Williams hits the ball into the net, and the Coliseum is rocking right now.
Virginia Stair serving for game point, 14-13. Jump set, Jamie Long. Over the block of Val Novak. Jamie Long keeps Hawaii's hopes alive in set number 3. Marlon Franson will serve. Terry Pettit has got to be oh so anxious on that sideline. This team is so close to taking another set away from Hawaii. Franson will serve, trailing 14-13.
Nebraska needs to get a big side out here.
Shannon. Big block by Hawaii. Carrie Trishman and Sherry Boyer ties the match at 14.
Now we've got a 2-point leeway. Nebraska needed the side out there so they could come back on game point. Now they're not on game point when they get to serve that.
Bronson, second serve. Stair. Tough receive. Nebraska wanted to carry. At the net, it's Val Novak and Jamie Long. Jamie Long tried to block it, but it went out of bounds.
Here's Novak. Hits the ball right into the hands of Jamie Long. That's called a use. Push the ball right into Jamie's hands, so Jamie would push it out of bounds. Great play by Novak.
14-14. Jamie Long. Carrie Trishman defensively for Hawaii gets the side out back.
Carla Baker going up for the block there. She was a little late, and that hurt Nebraska.
We're still tied at 14. Jamie Long, Dave Soji staying his team tied up with the Huskers in the third set. Jamie Long, tough serve again for Nebraska. In the backcourt, Janet Cruz. Novak sitting Cruz. Net violation against Hawaii called on Carrie Trishman. Trishman didn't like the call.
I don't think Dave Soji liked the call either. He was up on his feet.
Eileen Shannon will serve. 14-14. Back and forth they go.
And there's a freshman error.
Terry Pettit seeing his team get a big side out like Angie said they needed. And then the service error kills him. Trishman will serve for Hawaii, tied at 14. Cruz, Novak, back set to Janet Cruz. Off it goes Carrie Trishman into the backcourt, killed by Janet Cruz. And Nebraska's side out once again.
Set to Cruz, she'll go inside and over the top of Tony Nishida.
Becky Boley will check in. The jump top spin serve.
Boley needs to just get 1 point here with that top spin. Bring momentum to the Nebraska side. It's 14-14. And back and forth we have gone. Oh, she has a floor serve this time, though.
Boyer. T. William Sanders with the left hand. Drugged by Janet Cruz. Shannon setting Hall. Jamie Long. Good play by Becky Boley at the net. They go. Janet Cruz with the kill.
Nishida. Set out to Janet Cruz. Through the hole in the block. Becky Boley serving a floor serve, which is a good call by head coach Terry Pettit. Now she'll come back with a jump serve.
Nebraska, Becky Boley.
Oh, no, she won't.
Serving for the third set, 15-14. Tony Nishida. This hit was off the block. Nebraska will have to regroup on offense. Janet Cruz. Nishida. Nebraska takes the third set, 16-14.
And the emotion in this Coliseum is so electric. You cannot believe it. People are on their feet. Nebraska fans are standing over in front of Hawaii, giving the hand loose sign. This is incredible, Bill Dolman.
Nebraska volleyball at its best. Let's take time and just listen to the atmosphere here at the Coliseum. Cornhuskers, 16-14. Back and forth they went like two heavyweight champions. Nebraska gets the better of it in set number 3.
Here's the set to Nishida. Touched by Virginia Stair. She'll play it over. Set by Chris Hall. Out to Janet Cruz, and she'll go off the hands. Nishida can't play it. And Nebraska wins the third game.
16-14. Like two heavyweights going at it in a championship fight they go. Dave Shoji has seen his team lose their second set of the night. Their 6th of the season.
Both teams playing utterly flawless. This is the kind of volleyball I wasn't sure if we'd really see it. It's hard to find matches like this because emotions can play a big factor. Crowds like this can play a big factor. But these are two really great teams, and T. William Saunders is disappointed in the efforts of the Hawaii Wahines. But I'm sure they'll answer back with some great play, and we'll have to see what the next one game, maybe 2 games will bring us.
Well, they ain't number 1 for nothing. So you got to believe Hawaii is going to come back. They did it in the second set. They fell behind 10-0 in that second set. Came back to win that. And another thriller. That went by the same scores as the third set. Hawaii took set number 2, 16-14. Nebraska's 2 sets, 15-7 win in game 1. And a 16-14 win in game number 3.
Even the little guys will come out to watch the Huskers.
We are 10 seconds away from action getting underway in set number 4. The Husker pep band getting this crowd into it. I don't know if they really need any boosting at all, but this place is on its feet, and Nebraska volleyball is really coming around. Terry Pettit said the reason that they've got Hawaii, Texas, and those teams is to get better. They need this match. He said in the press conference this week that he wanted to take inventory of his team to see what they were made of when the NCAA championships roll around in the coming months. And last night, I wonder if he was happy with what he saw in that inventory. But tonight, his team has really responded when it counted.
I think one of the main reasons he said he wanted to bring Hawaii to the Coliseum this season was to see how the Huskers played against top competition, because they can't seem to find that in the Big 8 Conference. And they have not only played well with Hawaii, but they're beating Hawaii at this point. And head coach Terry Pettit has to be very pleased with that.
Dave Spalulu gets things underway. Set number 4. Quick set to Baker. Boyer. Quick set to Treishman. Boyer again. Sanders tried to go, cut it along the net. The arrow will send the side out back to Nebraska.
You know, we mentioned earlier that Hawaii has only lost 5 games and no matches except to the USSR. They might not be real experienced in losing, Bill. And that's important, I feel.
To Novak. Back set to Janet Cruz. Nice dig by Kalulu. Robbins sets Sanders. She plays the free ball over. Novak now. The Huskers on the offensive. Janet Cruz again off the block. Sherry Boyer looks for Sanders. Her attack is on. Nebraska takes the lead.
T. Williams, I think, just trying to go power, 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 and she's not really thinking. Last night you saw her play an exceptional match with heart attacks, and then she'd throw in the change-up there. And now she's so frustrated, she's just trying to hit the ball as hard as she can, and she's making errors.
Novak serving for Nebraska. Boyer going to Sanders again. Not to be denied this time off the block, side out Hawaii.
Set out to T. She'll be successful on this attempt through the hole of the Nebraska block.
Carrie Trushman serving. We're early, set number 4. Nebraska leads 1-0. Chris Hall to Novak. Jump set. Janet Cruz. Steve Johnson tells the story. Side out Nebraska. Janet Cruz with another kill.
Set to Cruz, and she really has a very quick arm swing as well as a big snap in the wrist, and she hits the ball down.
Novak with the dig. Free ball for Hawaii. Nebraska now back on offense. Novak to Cruz. Off the block. Good dig by Trushman. Free ball back to Nebraska. Janet Cruz again. Hawaii doing a good job defensively on Janet Cruz. Another attack. This time the dig. They didn't call the carry. Nebraska wanted it. Janet Cruz to Carla Baker. Her attack is long.
Dave Kalulu along the floor there. The ball came off her hands and then hit it again. Nebraska wanting a double hit or a carry, and the call wasn't made.
Dave Soji glad it wasn't.
Sometimes that happens in rallies like that when the ball is being hit back and forth very hard.
We're in the 4th set, Angie, and we are seeing players diving and making plays that are just remarkable. These two teams have been going at it for, I would imagine, close to 2 hours now, and they've still got enough energy and still got enough fight in them to be going after those balls that are loose on the floor. 1-0 to score. Nebraska leads. Boyer serves. Novak to Chris Hall. Big block by Hawaii. Off the net. Hall can't play it.
That energy you were speaking of a minute ago, Bill, Hawaii gets that energy from playing matches like this day in and day out. Their conference in the Big West is very, very strong with Pacific and Fresno State. Nebraska gets that kind of energy from their conditioning program. They don't have the same kind of conference play, but Boyd Eppley and all his efforts in the Husker strength program and their conditioning, that's what gives them the energy. So it's different kind of energies you're seeing, but both teams seem to have it right now.
Mary Robbins with the block for Hawaii gives them a 2-1 lead. Huskers play the free ball over. Boyer at the net. Quick set. Eileen Shannon trying to make the play in front of the scorer's table. Nebraska calls timeout. Terry Pettit doesn't want his team to lose too much early here. They trail 3-1. Dave Soji finally seeing his team get back on top early.
Pettit taking Novak aside, telling her exactly the way she wants to run the offense while she's out there, making some suggestions in the sets she might make.
He really can't be disappointed with the way Nebraska's played today.
I'm sure he's not. Their defense has been spectacular. Their blocking has been on. They haven't been making as many service errors as last night or as many attack errors. And they're being scrappy. They're doing the little things, as I mentioned earlier. They're doing spiker coverage. They're communicating when they can hear themselves talk. And it's just incredible. I think both teams have to be happy with the way they're playing.
Sherry Boyer will serve for Hawaii. They lead by 3-1. Set number 4. Nebraska has taken the first and third sets. They lead 2-1 in this match. Novak. Long set to Chris Hall off the block. Dug by Kalulu. Two-way Sanders. Attack is long. Side out Nebraska. Carla Baker will serve for Nebraska. Kalulu in the backcourt to Boyer. Far side to Franklin. Off the block. Chris Hall out of position. Can't play the return from Tony Nashie or Mary Robbins. Inside out back to Hawaii.
Saunders in the back row now.
She will serve. Received by Cruz. Jump set. Back set to Janet Cruz off the block. Boyer now. Quick step to Robbins. Chris Hall in front of a diving T. William Sanders. Kill by Chris Hall.
by Cruz to Chris Hall, and she'll go over the top with a roll shot. The outstretched hand of T. William Sanders. Nebraska taking advantage of the size differential on the other side of the net with Babes Kalulu.
Valerie Vermeulen checks in for Nebraska. Janet Cruz will come out. Vermeulen will serve. Dave Soji, his team clinging to a 3-1 lead, set number 4.
On transition here, you might see Val Novak setting Virginia Stair behind her on quick sets to go against that small block of Babes Kalulu.
Kalulu with the attack. Plays the free ball over to Nebraska. Quick set to Virginia Stair off of Carrie Trishman. Virginia Stair with the kill.
Kalulu not up on the double block. One-on-one with Franson was Virginia Stair. Here you see the pass up to Novak, and there's Virginia Stair one-on-one, and she knows how to beat that kind of a block.
Nebraska trails 3-2. Vermeulen, next serve. Boyer, backs up to Franson. Big block by Chris Hall and Virginia Stair. Boyer now, far side to Kalulu. Big block by Val Novak and Virginia Stair. Nebraska has tied it at 3.
Babes Kalulu obviously disappointed in her play. She's trying to hit the ball high and hard off the top of the block, but she's just not quite big enough. And her arm swing isn't quite high enough to get that. So we saw Jamie Long come in for her in the front row.
Long at 6'3", replacing Kalulu at 5'8". Service ace for Valerie Vermeulen. Nebraska takes the lead.
Trishman thinking that ball was out. It looked in from here. They might see it again.
Vermeulen with 3 consecutive points for Nebraska. 4-3 the score. Again, deep in that back court. Jamie Long along the sideline. She gets the kill. Hawaii will get the side out. They trail by 1. Janet Cruz checking in for Valerie Vermeulen, but Vermeulen has done her job, giving Nebraska back the lead with some service points. Mary Robbins will serve for Hawaii. And that floater serve, you see all that speed and all those serves with those top spins. The floater serve gets the ace and ties the match for Mary Robbins.
Let's see if Nebraska makes an adjustment here.
Another one, Cruz at the net. Novak plays the free ball over. Big block by Chris Hall.
Nebraska did not make the adjustment on that play. When somebody's serving you short, you can tell those passers need to move up, and they didn't do it, but fortunately they were successful with the block of Virginia Stair.
Virginia Stair in on that in the middle. Tied at 4. Chris Hall serving. Robbins gets it to Boyer. Quick set, Mary Franson under the Nebraska bench. But just too far out of position for Nebraska to play a ball back over to Hawaii. Almost took out one of our cameramen down there next to the Nebraska bench, and John Cook, Nebraska's assistant coach. Colin Franson serving at 4-4. Novak. Eileen Shannon. Boyer, quick set to Trishman. Good dig by Baker. Shannon off the block. Big block by Carrie Trishman and Terry Boyer. Hawaii takes the 5-4 lead.
Baker really impressing me with her digs tonight. She's playing exceptional defense in the back row. Eileen, however, not successful on her attack.
Hall, Novak, in the middle of the stair. And Nebraska not going to be able to turn it back over to Hawaii. Hawaii now leads by 2, 6-4.
Pettit not wanting to use another timeout to break the momentum here is going to put Debbie Brand into the lineup for number 25, Chris Hall.
Brand came in and did a pretty good job in that back row. In that third set, the one that Nebraska came back and they trailed by 4. Brand was in there at a critical stage. I think it was 14-10 when she was in there. She did a good job defensively for Nebraska. Novak now winning Nebraska's offense. Eileen Shannon off the block. Good dig by Brand off the block. Again, Shannon with the dig. Right by Robbins. Brand sets for Val Novak, and Novak with another kill.
James Soji really wanting a carry on that. Debbie Brand set up to Novak, and she knows no one's on her, and she'll go right through. Dave Soji thought that she held the ball a little bit in her hand, and left-handed setters, when they dump, that's kind of hard to judge.
Virginia Stair serving for Nebraska. Boyer, Trishman, blocked by Carla Baker.
Carla Baker solo up there. Don't see that very often. Trishman and Carla Baker go one-on-one, and the blocker wins.
Nebraska now within 1, 6-5, set number 4. Virginia Stair just clears the net with her serve. Boyer to Jamie Long. Off the block. Eileen Shannon with the dink. Hawaii on offense. Jamie Long again. Another block by Baker, but out of bounds.
Pettit unhappy with Shannon on that play. She had an overpass. She needs to hit the ball, or she needs to set it up so they can get a good attack. Tipping the ball and giving them a free ball is not going to help Nebraska at this point.
Jamie Long with the serve. A lot of topspin on that. Novak to Eileen Shannon off the block. Trishman, big block by Carla Baker. Her second solo block in as many attempts.
Trishman showing a great deal of emotion out on the court. She's very unhappy with herself that she was just blocked. And Hawaii, T. William Saunders going up trying to console her. Hawaii doesn't want to see Trishman go out of the game.
Novak to Sanders. Quick set to Trishman. She's got the kill.
And she'll answer back with that one.
Hawaii takes side out. They lead by 1, 6-5. Trishman will serve.
Taking a deep breath there. Get herself calmed down a little bit.
Brand, Cruz, over to Shannon. Into the block. Nebraska's really out of sync on that exchange. 7-5, Hawaii leads.
Carla Baker communicating. That's something you don't see her do very often. She's kind of usually in her own game out there, but she's done a good job for Nebraska tonight.
Janet Cruz. Off Jamie Long. Side out Nebraska.
Great attack by Cruz inside of the block. She's had about 19 kills to this point.
Terry Pettit with a couple of substitutions at this point. They trail by 2. Becky Boley will check in and serve. And Chris Hall checks back into the Nebraska lineup. Miley Golden comes into the lineup for Hawaii. She replaces Trishman. Angie said she became a little bit frustrated there. Dave Soji may be taking her out so she can get calmed down a little bit and come back in and play like the All-American candidate that she is.